Hello, 'tis I, Fat Cow. Things are getting strange. Are they all coincidences? Or are they some cunning, orchestrated plan? I honestly can't say either way what I think is going on. So, I'm going to speculate what could be a scenario given the evidence that we have. It doesn't mean it's what I think is going on. It means I don't know, but if a plan was afoot, this is what I think it would be. So, Foodie went on a monumental rampage of self-sabotage, accidentally. She knows she effed up, big time. Consequently, her reaction is to flee, run away, hide, forget anything ever happened and start again. So, given how sudden this all seems to be, because the lead up to this, sorry my knees are hurting, the lead up to this was a catastrophe after a catastrophe after a catastrophe, followed by an attempt at normality, followed by a final live, where Salah discovered his precious Freddo caramel chocolate had been eaten. Now, is that Freddo chocolate the straw that broke the camel's back, the one final injustice, the one final indignity that caused Salah to say, F this, I'm out? Because suddenly we're taking a break of probably a month. Let's go to Canada. Pete, who is not the brightest spark, it's one picnic short of a sandwich, one sandwich short of a picnic, suddenly announces he is immediately, without notice, quitting his job for, let me guess, about a month. Also, he suddenly have access to a sufficient amount of funds to possibly arrange a domicile big enough for two. This could be a coincidence. Pete didn't need to announce his inheritance. He'd already previously announced he was getting it. And even if he did announce his inheritance, there was no need for him to mention quitting his job for a month. And we are very aware that Peetz has a tendency to overshare information regarding Foodie. So this is what we have. Foodie announces needing a month off. Pete announces he's taking a month off, and Pete happens to have money. Now Pete, bless him, is absolutely under Foodie's thumb for whatever reason. We know he isn't compos mentis, or whatever the phrase is. He's not, known for his brilliance and his undying, almost canine-like devotion, unexplainable canine-like devotion to Foodie is something I don't think any of us will ever understand, much in the same way as people throwing themselves at nada isn't something that most of us will ever understand. So, has Foodie decided, now that Salah has finally decided enough is enough because she ate his effing Freddo chocolate, decided, I'm getting out of here, enough is enough? I mean, when she made the announcement, she was visibly upset, but she wasn't devastated. My relationship has fallen apart, devastated. But was it a real relationship to get devastated over the end of? We know it wasn't a relationship in the way we understand a relationship. So maybe the end of it is no more devastating than being fired from a job. It's probably a bit sad, yes, but it's probably a effing relief. So that might explain the sadness, but not the devastation. Obviously, there's the I can't remember the word. The fallout of having to explain once she pops back up about everything, which will probably result in the absolute decimation of Salah's character and a list of everything he ever did ever that was wrong. Probably a big list of indiscretions and controlling behaviour, which he actually asked for, remember, and the such. I'm going to really enjoy seeing the explanation as to why she decided to leave, if you know what I mean. So, this is the speculation given what's gone on. Which means the whole nada striking things is actually a legitimate coincidence. Is it? I don't know, because it doesn't fit in with this current narrative I'm making up in my head. Sorry about the sniff. So, she's finally given up on pretending. Ooh, which reminds me, maybe hijabi for about another month. Maybe. If she pops up back in Canada, living with Pete. Maybe. Because if the hijabi comes off immediately, then that's just showing everybody that we were right. And although we are right, she needs to think up a plausible reason for removing the hijabi. Not an immediate as soon as I land kind of thing, because she would have taken it off as soon as she lands, but she'll put it back on for when she goes back online. So we're gonna, the end of the Kuwaiti arc, the end of the Muslim arc as well. So she is either hanging around in Kuwait just to see if this can be saved, but has her backup plan, which is Pete. We will possibly, because Pete will let it slip some way or other, no more, I'd say after Christmas, when things get a little cheaper in the travelling department, whether or not she has gone back. Also, he's got to find somewhere for her to live first. So I think she's still in Kuwait, But she might be seeing if Salah starts treating her better now that he's had his hissy fit over the Freddo chocolate, not everything else that's happened, like putting his fetish back online and introducing it to a new, audience, and the public humiliation and everything like that. No, it's the chocolate. So she might be seeing what can be salvaged, possibly with Pete and his money as a backup plan. So I'm not saying it's over just yet. I'd say it's at its precipice, and whether things go bloop or whether she can pull it back is yet to be seen. However, I have the feeling she would be glad it's over, but she needs some time to think about how to explain this in a way that we will all believe, because we always believe. I'm going to say she probably will say that after everything that went down recently, Salah might have aggressively voiced his unhappiness. I think that's the allegation we're going to get, because Foodie will be the victim yet again, and that, given her history, she now knows not to hang around. That's my theory-ish. It's not a theory, it's me trying to explain. It's storytelling, basically. I don't know for sure. It's just weird. It's very odd. But it's definitely something serious, because as we all know, this week, out of all the weeks in the year, is the one for making money advertising at the last minute shoppers. And so it's a very peculiar time to not earn money, unless you happen to know somebody who's just come into some. Anyway, yesterday, 2 of these lovely foodie beauties went up for grabs to anybody who was a subscriber, to be announced soon-ish. Announce it Christmas Eve, and then once I get addresses and stuff, I will send them afterwards. However, I've made another one, but this one is pretty much a final form. They're never going to be the same. They're never going to be identical, so final formats. This is the kind of pattern, I can't think of the word again, that I will be following from now on. So this foodie beauty, who has food stains, the one big eye, the one watering eye, the wonky lips, the rosacea, the facial hair, the scant eyebrows, the tight wedding ring, the fupa balls, and the dirty feet, and big butt, is for members. It's a members giveaway. So if you are a member, please comment, and you too will go into a draw for this lovely young lady. And should Foodie move to Canada and hijabi era disappear, I'm going to have to rethink this thing again, aren't I? So that's fantastic, Foodie. even indirectly. You're a pain in the bloody arse. Anyway, a very blessed Yule to those who celebrate. I hope the next year is in some way, shape or form better than this one, the last one. You know what I mean. This is editing me. Excuse the bright light, it's my sewing light. One final thought. I hope that Julia and Howie, if he's still with us, stays with Salah. Because Salah might have been a lot of things, but he was the primary caregiver of that cat, and there was a lot of indications that he had legitimately nice feelings towards her, unlike somebody else. So, Julia, I hope you stay with the lesser of the two evils. And if Foodie goes back to Canada, if she gets another effing cat or two, I'm going to scream bloody murder.